This is the Quarter 4 guided exam review. I'm going to be doing the odds. There's an answer key available, so make sure you have that with you while you're doing it to check your answers. All right, the first one. So there's these two triangles, and they're congruent, so we need to name what is congruent. So angle P in the first one would be equal to angle M in the second one, because it's the first letter. So same thing if I'm looking at angle N in the second one, that's the middle letter. I just go to the middle letter from the first one, so that'd be angle T. For 5, state the theorem to prove the triangles are congruent. If you can't, then write not enough information. All right, so looking at this first one right here, I always see vertical. I see vertical angles right there. So there is a side, and then there's an angle, and then there's another angle. So it would be, for both of them, angle, angle, side, because it goes this angle, then this angle, and then the side. And again, with this one starting here, angle, angle, side. 7, okay, there's this side that's congruent, an angle, and then they share this side, so that means that's equal to for both of them. So it would be side, angle, side. 9, there's an angle. There's also vertical angles, right? So these are congruent to each other. And then there's a side, so we have angle, angle, side. All right, 11, find the values of x and y. All right, so for this one, because the angles are all congruent, it's an equilateral triangle. So all the sides are equal to one another. So to set this up, to find what x is, you would just take this and set it equal to 8, and then take this and set it equal to 8, and you could find both your x and your y. So 2x minus 5 is equal to 8. Going to add 5, so 2x is going to be equal to 13. Divided by 2, x is going to be 6.5. Then for the y, I'm going to do y plus 3 is equal to 8, and then y will then just be equal to 5. So those are your 2. 13, what is the value of x? So I'm looking for x, that's this angle right here. So let's see here, what's given to us right away. All right, so this is an equilateral triangle. Not an equilateral, an isosceles. So if this is 80, this has to be 80, right? So then angle P and angle T, they're both 80, so they equal 160, right? So then that would mean this angle right in here would be 20 degrees. So then therefore, this angle, because it's vertical, this angle would have to be 20 degrees. All right, QWE is congruent to triangle PLK. Name the corresponding part. So if you need to, just draw the triangle out. So it's QWE and then PLK. Now you don't necessarily need to do this, but you could just cross off what you're doing at the same time. So these sides right here, right? So QW would be equal to PL for the sides. WE would be equal to LK. And then our last one, it would be, you could either do EQ or QE. And that would be equal to PK. Then our angles, it's whatever's corresponding. So Q is equal to angle P. W and L are both on the top, so angle W is congruent to WL. I'm sorry, to angle L. And K and E. So E is congruent to angle K. 19, in each triangle, M, N, and P are the midpoints. So we have our midpoints here. Name a segment that is parallel to the one given. So what is parallel to XY? We have XY, which is right here. You could do, give me 1 second here. You could do, name a segment that is parallel, so not one that is congruent. That's the key word. So what is parallel to this line? Well, parallel means they never touch, right? So the only one would be this right here, and that is PM. So remember again, parallel. 21, find TS. So I know that in these types of triangles, this right here, you're going to need to multiply by 2, and then set that equal to the base. So x plus 4 is equal to 2 times negative 3 plus x. So x plus 4 is then equal to negative 6 plus 2x. I'm going to take my 4 over, and then I'm going to take the negative 2 over. So I'll do negative 2 to both sides, adding it, and I'll get negative x would then be equal to, and then with minus 4 on each side, it would be negative 10. So I would just divide by negative 1 there, so x should be equal to 10. But I did that wrong, I think. I must have done something wrong. Oh, here's the thing. So I found what x is, right? So then I need to plug it in. That's the key thing. Plug it into TS. So negative 3 plus 10 is equal to 7. So TS is equal to 7. So make sure you're reading the directions, or you make a mistake like I did. It says find TS. So first we had to find what x equals, and then we can plug it back in. All right, 23. Each figure shows a triangle with one or more of its medians. Find LC. So we are looking for LC if XL equals 2. So that means this right here is equal to 2. So what we do here is the point that goes from the vertex to the middle, we cut that in half. Okay? So that means if that's 2, that means this section's 1, and this section's 1, and this section is then equal to 1. So that doesn't really look very clean. But what it's saying is, again, cut this in half. So then this will be 1, this will be 1, and then from C, or from L to C would also be 1, because in these medians, the top half is equal to 1/3 of it, and the bottom, or the longer side, is equal to 2/3. So if you just see a problem like this, cut the bottom or the vertex part in half, and then whatever that is, that's going to be the value of the shorter part. So LC would then be equal to 1. All right, find the value of the variable and the segment or angle. So we're looking for x here. And just x, I guess. Okay, so this is equal, right? And this is to that right there. This side right here is equal. So this is equal. All you'd really have to do is know that this side is then equal to this side. So I would do x plus 5 is equal to 15. I would minus 5 on each side. So then x is going to be equal to 10. All right, so for JKL and JKM, right, it's bisected right here. So if this right side is 38, right here is 38. These sides are good, right? So it says find JKL. So JKL is the whole thing. So I'd have to take 38 and multiply it by 2, or just add 38 and 38 to get the whole thing. So when you add 38 and 38 for angle JKL, you get 76 degrees. Then JMK. Let's see, is it JMK? yeah, JMK right here. So if this is 90 and this is 38, I would just do, because this is a triangle, right? So I would do 180 minus 38 minus 90. I'll get 52 degrees. So angle JMK is equal to 52 degrees. State if the three numbers can be measures of the side of a triangle. Let's explain why or why not. So all you have to need to do is when you add these two, it has to be bigger than this one. And then when you add these two, it has to be bigger than this one. And then when you add these two, it has to be bigger than the middle one. So any two sides, when they're added up, have to be bigger or greater than the third side. So all I would need to do is 21 plus 11 is 32. I know that's bigger than 10, okay? Then I go on to, let's do 11 plus 10 is that greater than 21? All right, so right away, that's not. So it's no, because 21 is equal to 21. You get what I'm saying? So I added the second side of this triangle, so just imagine this triangle is like this, right? This one's 21, this one's 11, this one's 10. So I added this side, and I added this side, and it's equal to this side, so it can't be a triangle, because it has to be bigger than in order to be the side of, in order to be a triangle. All right, two sides of a triangle have the following measures. Find the range. So what we need to do is, all we do is we set it up like this, right? Blank is less than blank x, which is less than blank. So you set it up like that, okay? Then you take the bigger number minus the smallest number, so 12 minus 6 is equal to 6. And then you add these two together, so 12 plus 6 is 18. And that's just your final answer. That tells you the range of the possible measures for that third side of the triangle. Order the sides of each triangle from shortest to longest. So I'm ordering the sides. I'm not worried about the angles, but I have to look at the angles, right? So I know I'm looking at these right here, and it looks like this is an equilateral triangle, right? So FD and DE are going to be, they're obviously congruent, right? So it would just be, not a P, FD, and then you just put underneath that DE because they're congruent, and then comma, and then the last one is FE. And if I didn't mention, we find this out by going from the angle. So I go, let's say the smallest angle, it is not congruent to, but it is corresponding to the other opposite side. So like angle F is corresponding to DE. Then angle D, the corresponding side is the opposite, so it'd be FE. Then you just put that in order from smallest to largest. Now this next 139 says, order the angles of each triangle from largest to smallest. So I know that US, I'd have to go with largest first. So my largest is 17. So TS is 17, that's my largest, and that is corresponding to angle U. So my first one is angle U. Then I go to my second largest, 14, this side, it's corresponding to angle S. Then my last one, 13 is my smallest one, that's angle T. Find the interior sum of each polygon. So a hexagon has 6 sides. So my equation here is n minus 2 times 180, because it's the angle sum. So I would do 6 minus 2 times 180, so that'd be 4 times 180. So that should be 720 if I'm correct. Yep, and it's 720. So just, again, this is just the number of sides. A regular hexagon has 6 sides, so I just plugged that in and got 720 degrees. Find the measure of one interior angle. So I'm going to use this same equation here, but I'm going to do n minus 2 times 180. I'm going to divide everything by n. So 14 again, right? So I just do 14 minus 2 is equal to 12, right? And then 12 times 180 is 2160, but then I have to divide that by the number of angles or sides that the polygon has. So if it has 14, I have to divide by 14. So that's going to be 154.3 because I'm rounding to the nearest tenth. So 154.3 degrees. Find the measure of one exterior angle, okay? All the exterior angles always equal 360 degrees when you add them up. So what I would need to do is 360 divided by how many sides it has would give you one of those. So 360 divided by 17 is 21.17. So I would round to the nearest tenth, 21.2 degrees. All right, solve for x. Each figure is a parallelogram. So in a parallelogram, it's on this line right here. So these are two angles which are corresponding, meaning they're on the same line. So I would add them up. So 2x plus 45 plus 135 is equal to 180 because the flat line is 180 degrees. So combine like terms, and I would do 45 plus 135 is equal to 180. So I would have 2x plus 180 is equal to 180. Now don't get stuck here. You can still keep going. I'm going to minus 180 on each side. So I'm going to get 2x is equal to 0. I'm going to divide each side by 2. And 0 divided by anything is going to be 0. So x is equal to 0. If that's tricky to you, just plug it back in. So 2 times 0 plus 45 would be just 45, right? And then if I did 45 plus 135, I would get 180, so that this line right here is 180. 49, all right, I'm looking for x. So this right here, this 2x plus 4 and this 3x plus 8, that makes up angle F. So another way, if I wanted to draw this out, I would just draw it like this. So I would add 3x plus 2x, so that'd be 5x, and then negative 8 plus 4 would be 5x minus 4, and that would be this entire angle on the bottom right. And then you have 124 right here, right? So then I have, this is a straight line, so I would do the same thing I did before. I would do 5x plus negative 4, or 5x minus 4, plus 124, and then set that equal to 180. So the key here is just making sure that you're adding these two angles, or these two parts of the angle together to make up all of angle F. Once you have angle F, and then you can take angle F plus angle E, set it equal to 180. So combine like terms, I have 5x plus 120 is equal to 180, minus the 120 on each side, so 5x is equal to 60. So then x is going to be equal to, hold on a second, 60 divided by 5, it's 12. And this is 49, yep, x is equal to 12. All right, we go to 51. So 51, we're just solving for x. KD right here is equal to 16. And then BD, so the whole thing is equal to 4x. Okay, so KD is going to be equal to BK because it's a parallelogram, right? So all I need to do is multiply this half right here. If I multiply this by 2, I'm going to get what the whole thing is, this whole 4x. So I'm going to multiply everything in here by 2. So 2 times 16 is 32. I'm going to have that equal to 4x. 32 divided by 4 is equal to 8. So my final answer is x is equal to 8. All right, find the measures of the numbered angles in each rhombus. All right, I know angle 1 is 90. That's the easy one, okay? And since I have 90 here in angle 1 and then 25, I can find what this angle right here is. And it is a rhombus, so I would just do 180 minus 90 minus 25. So that gives me 65. So this angle in here is 65. This angle is going to be congruent to angle 3, so angle 3 is going to be 65. And then, if angle 3 is 65, this has to be 65, and this angle is congruent to angle 2, which is then 65. So then, I would just take this chunk right here. Let's just take that out. So this is this right here. This is going to be 90 degrees, right? Because all of those are 90, and this is 65. So I would just do 180 minus 65 minus 90. I'm sorry, 180 minus 90 minus 65, and then that would be equal to 25 degrees. All right, 55, isosceles trapezoid. So an isosceles trapezoid, this is parallel to this, right? And this side is equal to this side. So that means the base angles are going to be congruent. So 2 is equal to 3, right? So here's where we start on this one. Since this is a straight line right here, 3 and 109, when you add those together, you're going to get 180. So all I have to do is 180 minus 109 is equal to 71, okay? So angle 3 is equal to 71 degrees. If angle 3 is equal to 71, since angle 3 and angle 2 are base angles, they're the same. And you can see that with if this side is equal to this side, which it is. So angle 2 is going to also be 71. Then the last one is if angle 1, or if this top right, I should say. I'm thinking about flipping it down, but if this angle right here is 109, then angle 1 has to be 109. All right, find the measures of each number of angles in each kite. So these are kites. So they're not rhombuses or rhombi, but they are kites. So first thing we need to do, what's given to us, right? Angle 1, 90 degrees. Starts off real easy. So then I also know that this is at 90, this is 90, and this is 90. So if angle 1 is 90, that would mean that these insides are 90. Okay? All of these are 90. I see that I have 2 measurements in this triangle right here, right? So I would do 180 minus 55, and then minus 90, and I would get measure 3. So measure 3 is 35. So I know what 3, so this is 35. Then in a kite, right here, measure 3 at this angle is going to be equal to measure 2, so that's going to be 35. Now, if you need to know what measure 4 is, 35, and, sorry, not 35. I need to find out what is equal to angle 4. So in order to find angle 4, I need to find angle 5 right here. And since this is 55, this is going to be 55. So angle 5 is equal to 55. sorry, that's wrong. Oh, I'm wrong on that one. And the reason why I'm wrong is, this is the reason. In a kite, this is bisected. So if this is 62, this has to be 62. So angle 5 is equal to 62 degrees. So knowing that, I just pull this last part out. And if this is 62 and this is 90, all I have to do is 180 minus 90 and then minus 62. That's equal to 28 degrees. All right, find the missing side or angle. So this is going to be SOHCAHTOA. So I know that this is my hypotenuse right here, right? So if I'm starting at x, this is going to be opposite, this is going to be adjacent. So the one that I have that has an opposite and adjacent is tan. So I'm going to do tan x is going to be equal to 9/6, right? So then what I have to do, if I have just tan x, and this is an angle, I would do tan inverse, so tan to the -1 to both sides. So I'll type into my calculator like this, tan -1, and then parentheses, 9 divided by 6. So the inverse of tan, and then 9 divided by 6, and then close my parentheses, and I'll get 56.30, so rounding to the nearest tenth is 56.3 degrees. That one was 59. So we go on to 61. All right, 61, same thing, using SOHCAHTOA. All right, so I have an angle here, it's angle 37, right? And then what I'm given is, I know that this is gonna be the hypotenuse. So I'm given the hypotenuse, and then I'm given the adjacent. So I'm looking for which one I can use that has the hypotenuse and adjacent. And that would be cosine. So cosine 37 would then be equal to the adjacent, which is 11, over x. Now, we already know what this angle is, so we don't have to use the inverse. So we just set this over 1, and then we cross multiply. So it would be cosine 37, and then I'm going to multiply that by x, and this can be equal to 11. So if I want to solve for x, I would then divide cosine 37 by each side. So x is equal to 11 divided by cosine 37. So 11 divided by cosine 37 is equal to 13.77, so it'll be 13.8 for number 61. All right, 63. These are looking for just 3 sides, right? I'm only worried about the sides, so you can use the Pythagorean theorem, right? So that would be, I know this is my hypotenuse, so this would be A, this would be B, and this would be C. So I do 7 squared plus 3 squared is equal to C squared. So 49 plus 9 is equal to C squared. So that would give me 58 is equal to C squared. And then I don't like that I have C squared, so I have to take the square root of both sides. So I take the square root of 58, set that equal to, and then hit enter, and I get 7.61. So C is equal to 7.6. And that's my final answer there. All right, I got one more for you. I'm going to erase some stuff just so you can see it. So for 65. All right. 65, a ladder's leaning against a house. So here's my ladder, right? And it makes an angle of 32 degrees with the ground. So with the ground, it makes an angle of 32 degrees. The base of the ladder is 7 feet away. So this is 7 feet away from the house. So imagine this is your house, right? So we have the house. This is your ladder right here. So how long is the ladder? So we're looking for this, which is X, because we don't know what it is. So we'll just call it X. What I'm given is 32. And then I know that X, since this will be 90 degrees, X is my hypotenuse, right? So what I'm given is the adjacent and the hypotenuse. So the adjacent and the hypotenuse is, again, cosine. So we'll do cosine 32 is equal to 7 over X, okay? Set that equal over 1, cross multiply. So cosine 32 times X is equal to 7. I want to get X by itself, so I'm going to divide each side. So X is equal to 7 divided by cosine 32. And I'll just do my calculator, 7 divided by, hit the cosine button, then 32, close parentheses, 8.25, so that'd be 8.3, and then it's feet. And that would be your final answer. All right, that's the end of the odds for the review. Again, you can always email us. We'll make you a video if you need to. I'll bring my iPad home. You can also check into the math lab during a study hall, or come by us before or after school. And then also make sure you check your answers using the answer key. That's all I got. Hope you guys have a good one. Thanks.